Kent State University began distributing its supply of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine to students today. We have scenes from the site.
Rallying together, Kent State students and administrators gathered at the Rock on campus to protest anti-Asian discrimination.
And President Biden is cracking down on gun violence, why he called the issue an epidemic and the executive action being taken.
And Flash Fest is Kent State's largest music gathering of the spring. But what will it look like in the age of COVID-19? These stories and more as TV2 News starts right now.
This is TV2 News.
Good evening, Kent State and Portage County. Thanks for joining us one last time from the studio this semester. I'm Melissa Meyers.
And I'm Troyano. Your time currently is 6:01. We start with Kent State's vaccination clinic at the Ice Arena earlier today.
That's right. TV2's Kelsey Drennen was at the event and caught up with a few students.
That's right, and she joins us now with more. Hi, Kelsey.
Hi guys, as students are heading home for spring break, Kent State is doing their best to make sure that they are getting as many students vaccinated. Kent State is continuing its race to vaccinate students ahead of spring break, with a vaccine clinic taking place at the Ice Arena Thursday.
Our general goal is to vaccinate as many students who are interested in receiving the vaccine.
The university received the doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine from the Ohio Department of Health, which it hopes will expedite the vaccination process on campus. The one-dose J&J vaccine seems to be the most efficient for students to get the vaccine before they begin their spring break.
It was just going to be easier for me to get it here before going home, and the one dose was just going to be easier.
Getting the vaccine before going home could help prevent the spread of the virus before the students return to their loved ones.
I think that if you get it before you go home, that limits your exposure and your risk to get it to your family and just your community at home.
Still, Kent State says it's not only the job of the university, but the city of Kent as a whole to do their part rolling out vaccines to those on campus.
The city of Kent is also playing a central role in this effort, as well as their staff is contributing to this operation.
If you are looking to get vaccinated at the arena, vaccinations will still be happening tomorrow through Tuesday. Reporting for TV2 News, I'm Kelsey Drennen.
Thank you for that report, Kelsey. And more on the university's vaccine effort by the numbers. Currently, Kent State reporting over 1,200 students in total have now signed up for vaccines, one from on-campus sites. About 700 of those are for the J&J one-dose shots being administered. At the Ice Arena, the school says approximately 30% of main campus students have started the vaccination process on campus. Now, the university received 5,000 J&J doses from the state health department, which it says it plans to use all of by the end of the semester.
We have space for up to 5,000 students in the next days. We likely will get additional vaccines over the coming weeks as well. So this is a plan and a strategy that the governor's office has rolled out for the month of April. So our hope is that we get as close to 5,000 as we possibly can.
This comes as Ohio looks to receive a much smaller quantity of Johnson & Johnson vaccine doses next week, an 88% drop from this past week. DeWine spoke in a press briefing today to discuss the state's vaccination effort, encouraging Ohioans to get whichever vaccine is available, regardless of the maker. As of Thursday, 1/3 of state residents have began the vaccination process, but DeWine is still warning Ohioans the state is heading in, quote, the wrong direction with COVID trends rising.
And heading into next semester, Kent State telling students it's hopeful that fall 2021 will look as normal as it ever has since the onset of the pandemic. The email sent out to students this morning also addressed scheduling for next semester. The process will begin April 12th, meaning students will be able to use flashline tools such as Visual Schedule Builder to plan out their classes. Actual course registration will begin on the 23rd. In a student media interview today, President Dykens said the university expects to offer the same amount of in-person classes as it did before the pandemic. This comes as the university is continuing its effort to return campus activities to normal, announcing last month commencement will be held in person for 2020 and 2021 graduates. And some scrutinized the university for holding commencement in person while keeping its annual May 4th commencement virtual. Dyken explained how the circumstances surrounding the two events call for different measures.
Yes, we did decide to do commencement in person. Commencement is a different event because we have pretty clear boundaries that controls the amount of people that go into a particular area. It's a little easier for us to control that. Our advisory board members, and I think that reflects the age of a lot of people who tend to who attend May 4th. Certainly, we all hope we can get back to something in person.
The effort to stop Asian American hate, TV2's Jenna Borthwick was at the on-campus march to bring you the discussions that took place and campus plans going forward.
Spring break for Kent State University begins this weekend, but athletes are just getting started. Stay tuned to see where Kent State athletes are headed this weekend.
I feel like her heartbeat is like same speed as mine, and I think we have this like deep connection, this heart connection in her heart, that there's room for me and mom. When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer. It's a sensory thing. It's a thing with Asperger's.
She's really good with Anya. I've seen adults react to my daughter when she has meltdowns like she's from a different planet. And this little animal just sat next to my child and was just like, you know, it's gonna be cool. She's my superhero. Good job, kitty cat. When we adopted Lucky, we discovered all the wonderful things that make her unique.
Lucky's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly she's pure love.
A Kent State faculty organization held a rally last night showing their support of the Asian community.
That's right, and they protested Asian hate crime, something highlighted since the Atlanta spa shootings.
Our reporter Jenna Borthwick has a recap of last night's events. Hi, Jenna.
Hi, Melissa. According to a study by California State University, hate crimes decreased by 6% in 2020, but increased about 145% against the Asian community. The march yesterday looked to bring attention to these differences, heightened by the onset of the pandemic, and a lot of people showed up to stand against hate.
Over 150 people rallied against Asian hate yesterday. The event started at the School of Music and ended at The Rock, featuring a slew of speakers, performances, and a visit from Kent State's president.
When one of us doesn't feel safe, then our campus isn't safe.
With increased tension since the Atlanta spa shootings and even the controversy surrounding The Rock last semester, many people thought this event was timely and necessary.
This campus has been through a lot this year, and we need to now more than ever come together as a community and really share love and spread love and support to those who are really in need for it.
Faculty members noted that hate can take different forms other than violence.
If you're intimidated by somebody or made fun of, that's violence. If you are not allowed to speak, that's violence.
And even people from surrounding cities wanted to show their support, especially because of the increased prejudice brought on by the pandemic.
Being Asian, I definitely have been more aware, and sometimes I feel like when I'm going out, I'm like thinking more about like who is around me, like do I feel safe?
Many people present said they faced discrimination in the last year.
It's some other faculty member speak to me and try to joke with me, say, hey, you know what? No students wants to take Chinese language because China virus. That's literally happened in our faculty meetings.
While there was a large turnout for the quickly organized rally, more action is to come.
That's a small first step for us, and then to begin to increase the awareness of the situation.
Ultimately, everyone held a single message: hope for the future.
So I can see the Biden administration trying to change this atmosphere, and I really hope it will be changed. Yeah, because this is a beautiful country, and I believe things will be better.
The rally was organized in about a week and is one of many steps to be taken by the AAPI Faculty Alliance at Kent State. Tagging out for the final time, reporting for TV2 News, I'm Jenna Borthwick.
Thank you, Jenna. Now, and with that, the university hosted a town hall meeting with the Anti-Racism Task Force today. The school announced the town hall in the aftermath of an incident where a racial slur was etched into a marker on campus. The university allowed students to submit their own questions to be answered during the town hall, and more information will be available shortly, so you can review a recap of the event later this evening on KentWired.com.
An Ohio Civil Rights Commission found it probable that Portage County's former Water Resources Director, Gene Roberts, was involved in a sex-based discrimination. The former Deputy Director, Laura Weber, filed 2 complaints against Roberts, stating he discriminated against her, eliminated her position, and fired her. Ohio Civil Rights Regional Director Bradley Dunn ordered conciliation in the case moving forward.
And another Ohio abortion law was put on hold for the second time this week. The law was temporarily blocked by a Hamilton County judge, preventing doctors from using telemedicine for abortion. The law will be put on pause until April 19th, when a larger lawsuit questioning its constitutionality moves forward in the court system.
All right, well, the temperatures in northeastern Ohio have been especially warm this week, and weather anchor Nick Summers joins us now to give us a peek at what we have as this week rolls on. Hi, Nick.
Hey, Melissa. Good evening, Kent State. I'm Nick Sommer with your Thursday weather forecast. So currently in Kent, it is 78 degrees, very warm spring weather. Right now, it's very sunny out, but later tonight in the evening, we will be experiencing some thunderstorms and lightning, as you can see. Now, tonight around 8 p.m. it will cool off to around 70 degrees, warmer with some clouds. And then 10 p.m., like I mentioned, we'll start to see those thunderstorms with temperatures dropping down to 64 degrees. And then later on tonight and early into tomorrow morning, still at a good warm temperature, 65, but still cloudy. That wraps up what I have for you right now, but stick with us to catch me later with what your week will look like. Back to you, Shane.
Thanks, Nick. A series of executive orders from President Joe Biden were released earlier today in an attempt to combat gun violence. The orders include his continued campaign to tighten restrictions on homemade guns and provide more resources to combat gun violence. This announcement comes the same day as another shooting in South Carolina, leaving 5 people dead.
And I've said before, my job, the job of any president, is to protect the American people. Whether Congress acts or not, I'm going to use all the resources at my disposal as president to keep the American people safe from gun violence. But there's much more that Congress can do to help that effort.
The federal investigation into Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz continues following new information. Investigators are looking into a trip taken by the U.S. representative to the Bahamas to know if he was provided travel and women in exchange for political favors. The Florida Republican was already under a federal investigation for an alleged sexual relationship with a 17-year-old and other women who were provided drugs and money. Gaetz has denied all allegations and no charges have been filed against him. And testimonies continue in the trial of Derek Chauvin over the death of George Floyd, and a doctor who is serving as the prosecutor's expert witness testified today. Camila Bernal has the full report.
Mr. Floyd died from a low level of oxygen.
Stark and chilling testimony from the prosecution's first witness on Thursday, a pulmonary expert from Chicago.
The cause of the low level of oxygen was shallow breathing, small breaths.
Dr. Martin Tobin, an unpaid expert brought in by the state of Minnesota, explaining how George Floyd's oxygen levels decreased sharply when Chauvin and the other officers were holding him down.
He's turned prone on the street, that he has the handcuffs in place combined with the street, and then that he has a knee on his neck, and then that he has a knee on his back.
Armed with an arsenal of graphics, charts, and marked up photos of the scene, Tobin faced and spoke directly to the jury during his testimony, breaking down complicated medical terms to explain why Floyd could not breathe in the prone position and how he ultimately died.
With each breath, He has to try and fight against the street. He has to try and fight with the small volumes that he has. And then he has to try and lift up the officer's knee with each breath.
In Minneapolis, I'm Camila Bernal.
Our Kent State Golden Flash alumni are competing in the Masters tournament today.
And Flash Fest is making a return this year. With the impacts of the pandemic, we will show you what to expect as Kent State's largest concert of the year goes virtual.
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Throw that ball, Diane. Woo! You got this.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
Good evening, Portage County. I'm Mackenzie Pflum with your Thursday evening sports news. Kent State athletes have a busy start to spring break this weekend. Let's get right into the action. The Kent State softball team travels to Ball State over the weekend for a crucial MAC series. Kent State has an opportunity to kick #1 ranked Ball State out of first place if they leave the weekend with a series sweep. The Flashes are 8-4 in the MAC and are coming off of a tied series with Ohio. Standout players for Kent have been senior Kenneth Goff, who is the leadoff batter hitting a .409, junior Brooklyn Witt, who captured a walk-off win last week and is batting a .443 on the season, and freshman pitcher Jessica LeBeau, who was named MAC Pitcher of the Week for her performances in last week's series. The Flashes begin play with a doubleheader Friday and 2 single games on Saturday and Sunday. The Golden Flashes lacrosse team travels to Robert Morris tomorrow to begin a 4-game series in the MAC Conference. This is the second time Kent State will see Robert Morris this season. During the last matchup, Robert Morris took their first ever conference win in program history, winning 18-3. Madison Rapierre and Abby Jones have been the dynamic duo for this season, leading the team in goals per game. The Flashes will begin play tomorrow afternoon at 12 p.m. And Kent State volleyball players Alex Hafner and Savannah Matthews have earned all MAC second team honors for the season. The pair helped lead the Golden Flashes on a 6-0 run in the beginning of the season and a 12-9 overall season record. Setter Alex Hafner is the second setter in program history to receive all MAC honors in back-to-back seasons. And outside hitter Savannah Matthews posted a 9 double-doubles and that was 4th in the MAC among pin hitters who also had 20 or more kills in 4 matches. Congratulations to Alex and Savannah. And Kent State alum Mac Hughes and Corey Connors are representing the Golden Flashes in the Masters tournament. Mac Hughes is currently tied for 10th place, shooting even, and Corey Connors is a little further behind and is tied for 22nd place, shooting 1 over. Now keep those names in mind while the Masters tournament continues this weekend on CBS Sports and ESPN. That will wrap up sports for tonight. Thanks for tuning in, and follow TV2 KSU Sports on Twitter for more up-to-date sports news. I'm Mackenzie Pflum. Back to you guys at the desk.
Flash Fest is back. How Kent State is putting on its flashiest show ever, virtually of course, after the break.
We have enjoyed the warm weather all week, so Nick Sommer will rejoin us and give a peek at the weekend in his full 7-day forecast.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't
remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
A popular event at Kent State has taken a backseat due to the pandemic, but the undergraduate student government is bringing it back with some changes. Our anchor Shane Troyano talks how USG is utilizing virtual tools to put on Flash Fest.
After a year hiatus, Kent State's undergraduate student government is bringing back Flash Fest with performances by Pflum, Millie, and Jasmine Sullivan.
It's basically just a time where Kent students get to come together, celebrate the end of the school year, and, just have fun as a collective.
But in order to have fun, USG had to make some changes due to the pandemic. First, the event is virtual, but surprisingly, that turned out to be less of a challenge than anticipated.
There's really a lot more flexibility. You don't have to worry about a large group of people meeting in one area.
A lot of our programs have been more intimate. I don't think we would have ever had anything like that if we didn't have COVID.
But students have mixed feelings about whether this new intimate setting will have the same atmosphere as the traditional in-person Flash Fest.
Virtual concerts, they don't feel real. It doesn't give you that rush that you would get at a concert.
Well, another change is that you do not need to go to the box office to purchase a ticket. This two-night event is free, and just by registering, you can get some free prizes too.
If you register, period, your name will be randomly selected for a chance to meet the artist.
In the fall, USG plans to utilize both in-person and virtual events to accommodate students' health and safety.
With that comes the importance of accessibility to students if they want to attend in person or if they would just rather tune in online.
Flash Fest takes place on both April 8th and 9th, and students who wish to register need to go to kentstateusg.com/programming. Reporting for TV2, I'm Shane Troyano.
Welcome back to your Thursday night weather report. So tonight and tomorrow we will be experiencing pretty normal warm April temperatures still in the low 60s, high 60. We're going to see sun, but it will be a little cloudy tonight and tomorrow morning, but it will be very warm and we will be experiencing lots of sun, so it is a great night and a great day tomorrow to be outside. Now heading into tomorrow and the weekend, as you can see, very sunny and very warm, but starting Saturday and heading into Sunday, we will be experiencing some showers and thunderstorms. Thunderstorms specifically Saturday. It will be sunny most of the day, but towards the afternoon, it will be starting to thunderstorm, and then Sunday, it will cool down a little bit, drop down to the high 50s with some showers as well, and very cloudy Sunday too. Now, your 7-day forecast, as you can see, tonight we will be experiencing some thunderstorms, and like I mentioned, Saturday. But as you can see, heading into next week, it will be a lot of sun, warm April temperatures, high 60s, and then dropping down to kind of the mid 50s next week. So we're definitely out of that cold winter weather, heading into the spring, summer weather with lots of sunshine to come here to Kent State. And yes, like I mentioned, that's about it for my forecast on this fine Thursday. Until next semester, I'm Nick Sommer.
Thank you, Nick. Now, of course, it is our last show this semester, and that means it's time for a long-standing TV2 tradition, the senior goodbyes. So this is the time where graduating seniors say goodbye to TV2 and thank those who have been influential to them over the years. So we have some seniors with us tonight for their final show of their college career. We're going to toss it first to our director, Nicole Jones. How are you? Nicole Jones, I'm so sorry. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks. After spending so long at Kent State, I never thought I'd finally get to do my senior goodbye. I didn't know what I wanted to do in school, so I went part-time for a little over a year. And then I decided to add on 2 minors, which only put off my graduation further. After being told joining student media greatly improves your chances of getting a job, I decided to give TV2 a try. I didn't really want to join talent right away, so I started with tech and worked my way up to director. Then I decided to give talent a try finally, and I decided to join All Systems Go as an AP and later produce a show for all of last year. We made so many great fits like Sam the Something, who is now my desktop wallpaper. Even though I'm not on ASG for my last semester, I still love you guys and I love seeing you all grow. I've made so many friends at TV2 and I have so many memories of us just screwing around in the control room or the studio, attempting to do weather or anchor, and for that, thank you TV2.
Thank you so much. I'll always remember last semester our green screen shenanigans. That's what my favorite memory of us too. So thank you for everything you've done, Nicole. But next is our digital content manager and reporter, Jenna Borthwick.
Wow. Well, Nicole, congrats on keeping it together, because me and Melissa might be another story, but thank you, Shane. I'm still in shock that I graduate in 1 month. I joined TV2 as a little freshman, starting out as a newscast weather anchor. It wasn't cute, and as a daily correspondent with Melissa. After a few semesters, I had tried everything under the sun at TV2, anchoring, reporting, producing. I even portaged The Pulse with an awesome crew, if you know, you know, and even interviewed Jerry Springer one-on-one. I finally worked my way up to news director last spring and was in the newsroom when COVID changed life on campus. It was crazy. While that wasn't a conventional semester, and neither were the last two, I'm thankful for all the experiences and people I met along the way. Thanks to Gretchen Hoke and Suzanne for answering thousands of my questions and being there when I needed advice, as well as the students who mentored me and made this experience so much more fun and more than just a stepping stone toward my future career. I'm still not sure where I'll end up after graduation, but I know I will be prepared because of TV2. Stick with this station, work hard, but don't take the mess ups too seriously. You know, have fun with it. And I'm so thankful for TV2, and I wish nothing but the best for those not graduating this semester. And those graduating. I mean, best for everyone.
Oh my God. Well, thank you, Jenna. I thank you for all the advice you've given me. I just want to say that because you've made a lot to my career here in the past year, so I really appreciate it. But last but not least, we'll toss it to our anchor tonight, Melissa Meyers. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm okay. I'm keeping it together. Let's hope. All right, here we go. So my 4 years here at Kent have absolutely flown by, and now here I am giving my senior goodbye, which is crazy. I'll be graduating next month in May, and I have to say that I would not be anywhere near where I am today if it wasn't for TV2. I came into this organization as a freshman, blonde hair and all, it was awful, with my mindset on one thing, the hope to the blonde hair, it was so bad. The hope to become the best journalist I could be. TV2 exceeded my expectations, starting as an MMJ and an anchor for the flashcasts, all the way to holding leadership positions. TV2 has given me experiences I couldn't find elsewhere. But most importantly, I found a passion for something I love and something that I can't wait to spend my life making a career out of. So to wrap it up, I just want to say thank you. Thank you to everyone who's helped shape me into the journalist I've become over these past 4 years, especially Suzanne and Gretchen Hoke. You guys are the best. Thank you to my mom and dad who've watched me live every single week. My mom's probably crying right now. And thank you to every student journalist I've met along the way. I'd love to name you all, but we'd be here all night. TV2 News will always hold a special place in my heart, and I will forever be grateful for my time here.
I love getting to know you guys so much, but that is all we have for you guys tonight on TV2. We'll be off air for spring break next week, but we will return. Well, I will return after break. Online episodes will be posted on our social medias at Kent Wired. Again, I am Shane Troyano.
And for the last time ever in the studio, I'm Melissa Meyers. Have a great night, Portage County.
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you!
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
What to expect when you're expecting.
Like here.
A teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to team-proof your home. First step,
hide the car keys, preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey.
I'm ready for the... Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.